What's going on, everybody? If you're watching this, I want to thank you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. A lot to talk about. Darth Maul, the Shadow Lord, or Maul, the Shadow Lord, and Daredevil both ended this week, and they were magnificent endings. So I want to talk about that, go on what happened, and just give my overall thoughts on the seasons, respectfully as a whole. We'll start with Maul. um, Despite the issues I have with the sequel trilogy, mostly Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens I thought was really good. Last Jedi was a little mixed, but I thought overall was actually a really good movie. Rise of Skywalker, however, um, that was abysmal. And live action shows have, for the most part, been good. Maybe a little mix. Um, Mandalorian season 3 and the Acolyte just were not good shows. I mean, not the Star Wars shows, the shows in general. But the Mandalorian season 1 and 2, um, uh, what's the name of the show? One with the kids, the Goonies esque type show. Oh, I can't think of it now. You know what I'm talking about. That one was amazing. Um, I liked Ahsoka season 1. I've heard mixed things. I mean, how people liked it. I enjoyed it. Um, Boba Fett again, a little bit of a mixed bag. I didn't hate it, but I understand why some people didn't like it. So, but I will say this: as far as Star Wars goes, when it comes to animated shows, they don't miss. I haven't. I mean, as far as like actual the Clone Wars, amazing. Rebels, equally amazing. The Bad Batch, amazing. Now you have Maul, Shadow Lord, and this show, I think, rivals any of them. So we start off. We see Dryden Voss, and he calls Maul, and he makes him a deal. I'll pick you up, take you off world, get past the Empire, if you kill the head of Crimson Dawn and make me the leader. And Maul, no stranger to killing, says, "Got yourself a deal." At this point in time, they're separated from Lawson, Masadaki, and Devon. And if something happens, something that Star Wars fans have theorized for many years, and I think it's finally been confirmed. While sleeping, Devon wakes with a start, and she says, "Hey, I have this dream about this place. We have to go there." She describes it, and Lawson's like, "Yeah, that sounds like this one place. I know it well." And Masadaki tells Devon, "That wasn't a dream. Maul sent you a message, and he can only do that if you guys have connection. Like, you're not telling me something." And that confirms something that I always believed in, and a lot of other Star Wars fans have as well. when Anakin had those dreams of Padme dying and just bad stuff and just all those bad things that he always visions that he was troubled by. It was theorized those dreams were implanted by Palpatine, Darth Sidious, and seeing that Anakin had a very close relationship with him, albeit at the time he didn't know he was a Sith Lord. But regardless, they had a very close relationship. So much so that he's referred to Palpatine as a father figure. So, seeing they had a fairly close relationship, more than likely, it confirms the theory that Palpatine had the ability to implant those dreams in Anakin's head, which, if nothing else, makes his story and his downfall all the more tragic. It just adds to the manipulation, Palpatine and what he did and the um, just just the things he did to get his way. Um, so it just kind of gives some credit to that. They meet up and Maul's like, "Listen, neither one of us is getting out of here without the help of each other." So they form an alliance. They go, and Lawson's like, "Hey, listen, I know like this power plant. We can go underneath it and get to the outside the city." So they're like, "Okay, cool, let's do that." So they get there. Of course, this I think it's a power plant, something overrun by troopers, and Maul tells his little droid, "Jam the comms. I got this." And we get one of the coolest just walking up the stormtroopers. Maul lights his saber and he's just dragging it along the ground. And we get this amazing scene of him dispatching a walker and bringing it down and cutting it in half. And just, it's an amazing scene. And they get underneath the plant, they go into the tunnels, and they get to essentially this toxic lake that's filled with like acid from illegal toxic waste from the city. Um, and the distance between where they're at and the other side is so far that even the Jedi are like, we can't make that jump. Luckily, there's like a little, um, like little transport, but it's small. So literally only two of them can fit on this thing. So they start going across, and then Masadaki has this sense that someone's coming. The whole time throughout this episode, they're being hunted by the Inquisitors. And this delay has given opportunity, the Inquisitors, to catch up with them. And you see this amazing shot of them just running in to attack them. And you get the stormtroopers right behind them. And we get this amazing, just awesome choreographed fight between the Inquisitors, Maul, Devin, and Daki. Now, someone else pointed this out, but I think it's worth mentioning. They said only Daki senses them because the Sith mind is troubled. It's uneasy. And so they're not as sensitive to the surroundings. And Devin doesn't sense them either. There's kind of a subtle hint that Devin is in a process of slowly starting to become consumed by the dark side of the Force. And so they fight. Most of Maul's crew gets killed, including his last brother, who actually, um, like three troopers, and they're just hitting him, and he just decides to go tackle them, and they all just fall into the lake of acid and die. So it's really, he gives his life to give them a chance to get across, and they do. And the droid dies. Maul's droid. It's heartbreaking because he's cut right in half by one of the Inquisitors. Um, and before he falls, he's like, Master. As he looks at Maul, and he just dies, and it's like, damn. I like that droid. So they get across. Finally, they get up to the outskirts of the city into like this jungle area, and as they get across, the Inquisitors say, "Let him know they're coming," and we get this eerie, dark, misty jungle. And a couple, the last two members of Maul's crew go ahead, and you hear this sound, this monstrous, animalistic sound. And I forget her name, but the um, female Mandalorian, she comes up and is like, "There's something out there." We see her just hit the ground and get sucked right back into the forest. And we hear this crack. And then we hear, it's Lord fucking Vader. Episode cuts. Go on to the next episode. And we get the matchup that Star Wars fans have dreamed up for, years. Vader versus Maul. And you start to see as they fight, Maul really start to piece together who this is, because he doesn't know. And he realizes, he even says, "You're not an Inquisitor. What are you?" And slowly he pieces together who this is. And he realizes this is not an Inquisitor. This is Darth Sidious' new apprentice. So, we get this fight. We get Dryden saying, "Hey, I'm coming in. I'm not staying. You're there, you're not." So, as Darky, Maul, and Devin are fighting not only Vader but the Inquisitors as well. Lawson, Devin, not Devin, Lawson, his son, Two Boots, and who's the little gangster's name? Farlow, something like that. They go in and they realize the forest is infested with stormtroopers. So they get into a firefight. And just like Phantom Menace, where you have, the um, the duel between Qui-Gon, Obi, and Maul, and then you also have the battle with Padme and her men with um, the droids. You have the battle in the forest between Lost and his crew and the stormtroopers, and then you also have the you know battle between Vader and the Inquisitors, Devin, Master Daki, and Lord Maul. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. The choreograph in this fight, the way they fight is awesome. And Maul's telling them, Daki and Devin, use your anger, use your hate. If you fight like a Jedi, you'll lose. He knows how Jedi fight. Um, Devin kind of, you can see Devin. She's like, maybe he's onto something. But Master Daki, being the Jedi Master that he is, um, just refuses to give in to his anger. It goes against everything he was taught. So, just to wrap it up, essentially what happens is Maul and Daki go against Vader. Daki pushes one of the Inquisitors off a cliff. Um, the second one kind of goes off, and them and Devin are fighting. And Maul, being isolated with Daki, force pushes Daki towards Vader, um, essentially giving Vader the ability to kill him, which Lawson sees from distance. He sees that Maul basically kills Daki. Devin sees Daki gets killed by Vader, and she just gives into her anger and hatred. She lets off this primitive, primal scream and is fighting the Inquisitor and just giving him everything that she has. And she hurts him, so he goes, and then Vader comes, and it's Vader, Maul, and Devin. And finally, they're like this temple. Maul collapses it, says, "We gotta go." So they go to Dryden, whose ship is there. Um, and then we see Lawson take a gun, one of the big, like big guns, and he's like going towards the stormtroopers, is shooting them up, trying to give them a chance. His son, two boots in them. And we see him get hit a couple times, but we don't see him die. So it's kind of left ambiguous whether or not they die. So Maul, Devin, um, Varlo, Lawson's kid, and two boots all get on the ship. And Jordan tells Maul, "Hey, I kept my end of the bargain. Make sure you keep yours." And Maul tells him, "Oh, don't worry. I'm going to kill him. And then you'll be the head of Crimson Dawn." And we see Devin look at Maul and finally tell him, "I'm ready." And that's where we leave off. That's the end of the series. End of the season, excuse me. Listen, it's too early. I don't like to rank things right after I see them because you have recency bias. It's been a while since I've seen Clone Wars. Um, Rebels, Bad Batch. So I don't want to quite rank it right away. Um, Between those three, my ranking of them would be Rebels, Clone Wars, and Bad Batch. Um, God, I just love Rebels. Rebels is my favorite Star Wars animated show. This one, I don't know where I would put it. Probably above Bad Batch. The show was amazing. It was amazing. It was so um It was beautiful. The the, the fights were epic. Everything about the show was top notch. I love the show. It is one of the best things we got in Star Wars. Skeleton Crew. That's very random. I'm sorry, but I couldn't think of the Goonies esque show. The Skeleton Crew. Um, but speaking of Skeleton Crew, Mandalorian and Andor, you know, I would say this ranks up there with them. This show was absolutely phenomenal. The writing was good. Someone else said this, so I don't want to take credit for this. Someone else in another video said this, but I believe it's true. My only, they said, the only complaint with the show was how a Jedi Master, his apprentice, and Maul, being as strong as he is, struggled against a couple Inquisitors when they should have been easily taken down, struck down by them. Especially Maul. Maul's way stronger. He even said the crow-faced Inquisitor was killed by Ahsoka easily. Um, and Maul is definitely stronger than Ahsoka. So again, someone else said this. This is but I disagree with it. I thought it was a very good take. I agree with it, and I think it is something that I notice the power dynamic between how powerful Maul, a Jedi Master, and Devin would be, and the Inquisitors. It did seem at times they gave the Inquisitors more power just to create tension and drama within a show. Um, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints. I thought Two Boots was awesome. Lawson was a great character. I'm hoping he didn't die. I'm hoping he just gets like knocked out or something, and he survives and he finds a way out to reunite with his son. We had some very within the episode 9 especially, we had some very touching moments with him and his son. Um, remember, um, I remember there was this one scene where his son like takes a taser. I mean, not taser. Takes a one of the guns and stuns a stormtrooper. And Lawson looks up and says, "Hey, just be careful. Remember what I taught you." And there's another scene where they're going across the acid lake together. And Lawson's apologizing, "Hey, I'm sorry all this is happening." And his son's like, "Listen, look on the bright side. We spent more time together than we have in a while." So there's some touching moments, some nice somber moments between him and his son that I really thought were really good. So I'm hoping he's not dead. I hope he lives, he gets arrested, he breaks out, or someone breaks him out, or maybe his wife helps him get out, or ex-wife, and he gets to reunite with his son. So we'll see. I'm excited for season 2. This series was amazing. Damn, it was good. I'm sad it's over, but it was amazing. On to Daredevil. A lot happened in this episode, so I'm gonna just go through it pretty quickly and give my thoughts on the season as a whole. So we see Karen Page and in court again. Matt's not there, and we see that he's being patched up by Jessica Jones. Because remember, after he got shot in the leg by the task force, he went to the church, and we saw Jessica Jones enter the church, and that's how the episode ended. So we saw that she like took him over and was patching him up, and so fast forward, you see the task force setting up adjacent to the courthouse a fake bullseye. One task force members, he dresses bullseye, and they're there to kill Matt and blame it on him. But in the real, bullseye shows up, kills all of them, and he stands there. And then we see Matt enter the courtroom. He does his thing. He's an amazing lawyer. And then we see the judges tell the defense, Matt, call your first witness. And he calls Wilson Fisk. And the back and forth between them is amazing. And then he shows a video of the co-captain of the Northern Star admitting they were carrying weapons, admitting it was Fisk who told them to sink the ship. And Fisk is like, do you really want to do this? Matt's like, oh, absolutely. And essentially, after this back and forth, this kind of hinting at what he's about to do, Matt finally turns around and says, I am Daredevil. And they're like, bullshit. And Matt throws his walking stick, and it bounces off the walls, and it comes, and he just catches it with one hand. And he's like, yeah, I am. Pretty badass. He tells the judges, I witnessed what was on a ship. I witnessed the Fisk's crimes. And because of that, this case has to be dismissed. And the judges say, you're right. Case is dismissed. So they go to leave. And the head task force guy, the real asshole one, says, hey, get ready for the shot. He's coming out. And you hear over the radio, yeah, asshole, wrong bullseye. And he goes, oh shit. Protect the mayor. And then he shoots Buck. Which, fuck Buck. Justice for Daniel. And so Matt, also before that, Jessica Jones comes in with the governor, kind of like protecting her. And the governor basically tells Fisk, hey, we're gonna press charges against you. You're done. Just resign now. And of course Fisk is like, go ahead and start the process, because it is a process. He said, you have to do more than the word of a outlaw vigilante against me. After the shot, the Fisk and them barricade himself in one room. Matt and them barricade himself in another. This mob of people swarm the courthouse. And the one asshole, the head of the task force, like, I'm gonna shoot them all. Finally, the black dude that had a burned face just knocks him out and says, dude, shut the fuck up. And he said, let them in, let everybody in. They all come in. And the task force goes after, Matt hears them coming after them. So him and Jessica Jones say, all right, time to go to work. And we get this dual scene. Jessica Jones and Matt against the task force in this hallway, just kicking ass. I mean, it is a thing of beauty. They're kicking ass the whole time. And at the same time, this crowd is banging on the door with Fisk is, and Fisk is like, You know what? I'm going out anyway. Fuck it. Open the door, goes boo, and then starts beating the shit out of these guys. I mean, he's Bob breaking dudes' jaws, lifting them up, breaking their backs against the wall. I mean, Fisk. I mean, it's bloody. I mean, literally, Fisk is covered from head all down his, you know, white suit in this blood. And Fisk is just beating the shit out of these guys. Matt and Jessica are beating the shit. And then in this awesome scene, the White Tiger comes in and she just starts fighting with them. And all just fighting the Task Force guys. Fisk is fighting the 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 people from New York. And it's just an amazing scene. And then finally it culminates in the like main entrance, and they finally get Fist down and they're beating him. And Matt goes over and says, "No, we're better than this. We're not going to do this." And he tells Wilson, "You need to leave. Let's go." And Wilson's like, "I can't. I can't leave New York." And Matt's like, "Listen, you gotta leave. It's over for both of us. Just get out of here." Finally, Wilson looks around and sees that he lost everything. So he's like, "I'll go." So he leaves. Um, and we see slowly everything starts to kind of get back to normal. Um, Matt earlier in the episode, we see Karen kind of have this daydream, this fantasy of her and Matt together in this coffee shop, this laughing, having a normal life. We kind of see that come true. They're together. They're in this coffee shop. That's just sitting down, laughing, and then NYPD comes in and arrests Matt. Says, "Hey, you're under arrest for multiple charges." And Matt says, "Okay." He goes, and that leaked picture of Matt in like orange, jumpsuit, and uh, that's what that was. I guess was referring to. We see Matt does go to jail. He is arrested. We see Matthew Lillard's character. Well, before that, you know, I really love these shows. I get kind of emotional sometimes because these shows mean a lot to me. The characters mean a lot to me. I mean, I was a foster child in a very abusive foster home, so these characters really did a lot for me growing up. And in this amazing scene, Luke Cage is back. Officially, he's back. And I couldn't help but just, tear up a little bit and just smile. He comes in, and of course, um, he and Jessica's daughter runs over, give him a big hug. And Jessica's like, "Are you home? Are you actually like home this time?" And Luke's like, "Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not going back." And she says, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Don't worry. He found someone else." So she closes the door, and we see Alias services are on the door, which is of course a nod to Bendis's run with Jessica Jones, which is still the definitive Jessica Jones story. Alias, the best. You know, if you want to read on Jessica Jones, read Bendis's Alias. I don't, that is quintessential Jessica Jones reading. And then we see Lillard's character on a plane with Bullseye. So it looks like, that's who he's recruited for his missions now. Um, and then we see, of course, Matt in jail. which I wonder if that's what is that where Spider-Man goes to get him out of jail, and when we see him in the prison in Brand New Day, or does he go to defend Matt? Does the Hand see that, hey, we have Daredevil with no weapons, nothing, in prison? Let's go take him out. Spider-Man, I don't know. These are theories, but Matthew in jail does bring up a lot of interesting possibilities. Um, but seeing Luke Cage back was special. I like that. Um, that's how it ends. This season, in my opinion, has been what was way better than the first. Oh, another thing that happened. I almost forgot. We see the Matt's ex girlfriend, the psychologist, finally give in and put on the Muse mask. So she officially becomes Lady Muse. Worst kept, secret. It was obvious that's what it was building to, but it officially happened, I guess. No. Um. Anyway, but going back to what my point. Um. This season was amazing. My opinion, way better than the first. And in my opinion, it's on par with the Netflix. This was just as good. And this is what Marvel TV should be. It was epic. It was well written. It was well acted. There was lots of action. It was just so, and they took chances. They killed Daniel. Oh, another. Like I said, a lot happened this episode. A lot, and a lot of little things. Not a lot of big things. The fight between Wilson being taken down, his fight, Daredevil's fight. But at the end, there was like five, six, seven little things that happened that are worth mentioning. We see, if you remember in the Netflix, um, uh, BB's uncle, Mr. Ulrich. If you remember, he worked for a newspaper, and his boss, kind of like an asshole, but they had he had a lot of respect and love for him. We see her at that newspaper, and his boss is there, and he gives her a box of her uncle's stuff. Hi, baby boy. I love you. Have a good day at school, okay? Um, and he's like, "Hey, welcome to the paper." And it's a nice little, awesome scene where he kind of passing down her uncle's legacy to her. And it was good to see him too. And like I said, this was a 15-20 second clip, shot, but it was powerful and it was amazing, and I loved it. And like I said, lots of stuff happens, like a lot of little things. But like I said, the Luke Cage, we see him for maybe all 2 minutes. We see Matthew Lillard and Bullseye on the plane together for, again, maybe 2 minutes. But these 1-2 minute little scenes showed a lot. But I mean, that's just how amazing this season was. That's how amazing this last episode was. This, again, I don't like to make statements because you get recency bias. because this was the best thing that Marvel ever did, and it's like, yeah, it's easy to say that now when it's so fresh and new and you're excited. And would you feel the same way in 6 months? Would you feel the same way after Vision Quest? Would you feel the same way next year? I don't know. But as of right now, I think it's at least safe to say um, this season was amazing, was everything that you can want out of a Daredevil show based on, what we got from Netflix. And whatever turned the form from Marvel. Marvel has made a lot of mistakes. They really have. But what I respect about Feige, what I respect about Marvel is they're willing to course correct. They corrected mistakes they made from last season and made this one of the best Daredevil seasons we've ever seen. They course corrected their films. And, last year we got some of the most amazing Marvel films that we've got in years with Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four. Um, I have a lot of problems with Captain America 4, so I'm not going to count that one. But Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are amazing. Wonder Man was amazing. So it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and you're willing to grow and change. And Marvel has. Marvel has 100%. They have changed. They have grown. They have done better. And guess what? I think ultimately that's to be praised and that's to be appreciated. Um, but this season was amazing. Um, Between this, Wonder Man, I've been hearing from other channels who are tapped in that Vision Quest is going to be absolutely amazing as well. So Marvel is slowly getting back to form. And if Doomsday can be, amazing, if they can get that right and stick the landing with Secret Wars, I'm very, very excited about what's to come in the future of Marvel. I say with Star Wars. Um, Marvel is amazing, so I'm very excited what they're going to do with Star Wars moving forward. I can't wait. So, big win for Disney. Um, I definitely have some invincible withdrawal. Um, but I've heard and I've read that they are going to be releasing it next year. I read some, I don't know if this is true or not. I read somewhere the voice acting is either close to or is completed. So that's a good sign. Um, the boy continues to be amazing. I can't wait for. I'm gonna watch the new episode today. Um, that's almost done. Is it next week we get the Punisher? Is that am I correct in that? Is that next week? So yeah, I believe next week the Punisher um, special is supposed to come out. So that's another thing I'm looking forward to. We are eating good in 2026. The world may be falling apart, but at least we have this. um, but that's all. That's all. I think again, this is the Nerdy Jock. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Um, from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot. This is stuff I'm passionate about, so I love to share my passion with others. Um, we're in May, June, most of July. We're going to be in a drought when it comes to NFL. We might get a trade here, a trade there. I know Eagles are still looking to shop Brown. Um, a little bit of drama with Anthony Richardson, but I read somewhere he finally showed up to Colts camp. Um, so whether or not they release him, trade him, or just let him play out the season on the bench, we'll see what happens. I don't blame him for making that pick. I really don't. He had a lot of potential, and it just didn't come to fruition. Um, I think Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback. I mean, eventually you want to get someone better, but for now, they have to hope for the best with him. Um, but yeah, it's going to be unfortunately not much going on next 3 months as far as football goes. But in August, we get the Hall of Fame game. Um, is it like, I forget now. Is it the end of August or beginning of September that we get the must be the end of August we get preseason. Yeah. Next 3 months are gonna be tough. But we'll get through it like we do every year. In the meantime, we got plenty on the nerd side of things to keep us busy. Punisher, Vision Quest. We got Spider-Man coming out in July. Spider New Wars coming out at the end of this month. It's like I'm missing something. Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out. Supergirl's coming out. We got plenty to keep us busy while we wait for football to start again. But anyway, thank you guys. Um, I love to hear what you guys want think about the seasons. Did Maul, Shadow Lord, and Daredevil Born Again season 2 low the expectations? They not only lived up to mine, they exceeded them. So um, I'm very happy with that. I'm happy with what we got. I'm happy with what they gave us. Um, I can't help but smile. It is an amazing time. Um, so let me know. Let me know what you guys think of it. And are you excited for? Because we know we're getting a Daredevil season 3. I've heard we're getting a Maul season 2. So I'm for it. I'll be there. Very first episode to the very end of the season with both those shows because I love them. I think they're amazing. So uh, in the meantime, we got plenty to satisfy us. But that's all for today. Thank you. You guys be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.